Welcome to the Rural Dispatch, the podcast delivering stories from rural America. I'm your host, Allie Behrens. Headquartered in rural Iowa, I help run a nationwide livestock transportation company, and I'm here to bring you stories from the people who help shape this industry and our rural communities. Whether you're a trucker, livestock producer, or rural entrepreneur, this show is for you. Each week, we explore the realities of rural business life, from the highways to the fields and everything in between. So buckle up and let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back. It's just me and Smoke today, and we haven't done this in a few episodes, it feels like. Just the two of us.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
I feel like following up Rich's podcast, we got big shoes to fill.
Oh, that is true. You guys have really done your part getting this podcast out there. And Richie's has it been our biggest?
Yeah.
The biggest hit so far?
I think so.
Well, each week we just keep growing, and it's crazy to see where this has gone. Well, this episode will be our 16th podcast. And, the traction we've gained in 16 episodes is nothing like we ever expected. I can't believe people want to listen to us talk. Why?
Beats me.
I guess whatever.
I don't know. You got a call, I think it was last night, and he was just telling you how much he really enjoyed hearing everything that Rich had to say. And he said it was a good reminder that you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. And Rich really put a lot into perspective of how far the cattle industry has come.
Yeah. Yep. People want to hear Richie's stories, but it is hard to find people like Richie to tell Richie's stories. Them people are just not always available.
No.
So let's jump to today.
Let's talk about some news.
Any new local news? I'll take one thing I did have is I had a guy send me the other day, they are going to build a new JBS sausage plant.
Oh, where's that at?
In Perry, Iowa. So just hit the news that JBS plans to build their first ever sausage plant, I guess is what the news said.
Yep, here it is. A sow slaughter plant. Oh, and this plant's going to harvest 500,000 sows. Aren't they also breaking ground on a Daisy sour cream or some sort of dairy? I don't know what all they'll do there, but a plant over in Jefferson, right?
It's over in Boone.
Okay, let's give a little life update, and then we'll get into business. We've accomplished a lot in the past couple weeks, actually. We've knocked a lot off the checklist.
Well, you've knocked a lot off the checklist. I am like moral support when it comes to this wedding. I think I'm the guy that she's like, I think we should, I don't even fucking know what. And I'm like, yep, I think that sounds great. Just go ahead and get that done. And then next thing I know, it's done.
So for everyone listening, let's give a little background. We obviously are not married because we're planning a wedding, but we've been together 7 years. We have 2 kids.
4 and 2.
Yep. 2 boys.
Ridge and Royce.
And I have already changed my last name to Behrens.
Come to find out, you can do anything you want online, even legally change your last name. No questions asked, really.
No, none.
Well, you just fill out this little form. You got to give them a reason.
You have to have a reason, but sounds like it could be just about anything.
Her reason was she just wanted the same last name as her kids, and they're like, okay.
Sounds legit.
Sign you up. So, here you are. Which confused people for a long time. They're like, wait, did you guys get married? No.
Nope.
Why?
Mostly our bankers and insurance people, when they see the name change come across.
Yeah. So I finally, gonna do it, gonna get married. Then kind of started planning it, and I was like, we can do this. But in Carroll, where we live, it's like everybody gets married at the church, and then they go to our local Legion for a reception. I would say 90% of the weddings we go to are that way.
99%?
99%.
Well, the Legion is the only place big enough.
Right.
Hold anybody.
So we're going to do it in our backyard. Now, finding a tent to fit 500 plus people was our biggest obstacle
Right. So
to start with.
let's back up to this. I was on Smoke to give me his guest list so I could get started with literally any planning whatsoever. I need to know how many people. How many people was your initial list? Like 658 or something?
I have no idea. I didn't count them.
Something crazy. And that didn't count anybody from my side.
I talked to a lot of people.
And there's not a lot of those that I would have crossed off, honestly. So really, I mean, we're kind of planning a wedding for 500 people. We're hoping that a good chunk of them
can't make it.
Don't show up. BYOC, bring your own chair.
But we did. We're good. Found a tent for 500.
We have the necessities. We've got the bar. We've got the bathrooms. We've got the band. We've got the food. And we've got a place to keep everybody dry in case it rains.
Yeah, that's true. The rest of it will probably just kind of fall into place.
Yep.
Honestly, from here on out.
We met with our pastor this week. That could have been an email.
He's a deal. That's probably why we go to that church.
I don't think he really ever thought we were going to get married.
Well, I'm not going to get into our background, but he just said, he goes, well, you didn't have a lot to look forward to.
I mean, we both come from divorced parents.
Yeah. So, yes, wedding planning's coming along nicely. I think we pretty well got it taken care of for the time being. So, really, that's kind of something we're really not going to worry about for a couple months, honestly, till about 3 weeks before.
Hopefully.
I suppose.
I don't know. I'm sure I'm forgetting something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, I guess not really. I mean, we still got to send out invites. Actually, the biggest part of it all we have to do yet. We got to get an address for all 600 of those people.
So if you're listening to this and think you might be on the invite list, just go ahead and be proactive and send us your address. That'll save us a lot of time.
So we went to Ohio a couple of weeks ago for a wedding. We got the pleasure to sit with old Robert L. Conley.
He had some sound advice.
How'd it go?
Put God first.
God first.
Put your wife second.
Wife second.
Business comes third.
Business comes third.
And then your kids.
And then your kids. I wonder how sound advice that was for him, because he's not married.
Well, that's how he knows.
Okay.
I mean, that's how most people figure things out. I mean, really, we'll hopefully retire eventually. The business will be gone. We've just got each other. The kids are going to fly the nest. That's probably pretty sound advice.
Yeah. So, hey, when we went out to see Howard Curry, I think we talked about his car lot.
Yeah.
So we had to meet him at his car lot. We pulled in the car lot that night, and there sits this Jeep Wrangler. Oh, Allie's been wanting the Jeep Wrangler for, I don't know, who fucking knows how long. It's like, oh my God, Howard's got a Jeep. It's like, oh yes, happy day. Lucky me. So that Saturday, Howard calls and he says, hey, you want to go test drive that Jeep? I'm like, yeah, we sure can. Whatever. Go take this Jeep for a test drive. Come back. I'm like, yep, it's a Jeep. Didn't think nothing more of it. Couple days goes by. I text Howard. I'm like, hey, thanks for inviting us to that wedding. Really appreciate it. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks for being a good friend. By the way, probably better not sell that Jeep. He just gives me the thumbs up. A couple days later, he calls. He goes, you want that Jeep? Yep, I do. So I'll send you a check. I said, but I want to put some tires and rims on it. He goes, I got a guy just right here in Liberty, Indiana. He sells tires and rims. And so we get tires and rims put on it. And he goes, now what? I said, well, you're 650 miles away. I really don't feel like coming to get it.
Yeah, now what?
Can you put that thing on the car load board and see if you can get it to me? Some dude in a little hot shot, dually pickup in a enclosed car trailer, picks it up. He picks it up on a Sunday afternoon, and it was in Carroll Monday afternoon.
Complete surprise to me.
Yep.
Smoke's big on surprises. I don't know why that is.
I surprised her with this Jeep. She loves it.
Let's go over all the rest of the surprises. I went to Nashville a couple years ago for a bachelorette party right after we moved into this house, and I really wanted to redo a couple things in the kitchen. Well, basically the whole kitchen. And hard no from Smoke. The boys are hard on shit anyways. We'll wait. But I get back from Nashville, and he's like so excited. Can't wait to show me.
I do not remember this.
That's when you went and bought that Ranger.
Oh,
Polaris Ranger.
yeah.
It was a surprise.
Yeah.
Other surprises, you have thrown me 2 surprise birthday parties, both at bowling alleys. And those are the only 2 times that we have set foot in a bowling alley the entire time we've been together. So I'm not quite sure why. Somebody asked me that, like, hey, do you really like to bowl? Like, why does Smoke always throw your birthday parties at a bowling alley? I said, I don't know. I guess to keep it a surprise. I didn't see either of those coming.
We did go try and do some fishing today.
We did. It was a nice day.
It was.
Today was a much better day than yesterday.
Yeah, I was. All right. Tell everybody about yesterday a little bit.
We've talked about this on this podcast before, is this Baron's luck thing. It's called Baron's Black Cloud. And it is bad luck, just follows these guys around. So we've got this place up at the lake about 30 minutes from us. And we have said all year, if we do not use this place this summer, we are getting rid of it. And we have said the last 3 weekends that we were going to go up there. Well, the last 2 were cold and rainy, so we didn't go up. This weekend, beautiful weather. We're going. Everybody's got the boats ready. We're good to go. So by the time we pack up 2 little kids and ourselves and snacks and everything, I mean, that's 2 hours of the day. Finally get up there. Jeremy, Smoke's brother, gets up there. And we're like, well, should we get on the pontoon? Go for a little cruise? Absolutely. Go to hook up to the boat trailer. Nobody has a ball. So found a ball we could borrow. We didn't have ice. Smoke had to run to the gas station then to grab ice before we could get on the boat.
Go open the freezer on the deck, get a bag of ice. Well, fucking fridge quit working.
Fridge is broken.
Fridge is broken. So the ice is melted. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run to the store, get a bag of ice so we can pack a cooler. So now I gotta run to the store, come back. So we jump on the boat. We're on our way over to the boat ramp. And I told Allie, I go, I wonder if he started this thing this year. So we're waiting in line for the boat ramp, and my brother's got his window down, and I go, hey, do you have this thing started? Do you make sure it starts? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had it running just the other day. He's like, we're all good. I'm like, okay. Sounds fucking good. Back it in the water. He pulls out. Goes park the pickup and trailer.
Yes, mind you, Smoke refuses to drive the boat. So Jeremy is backing it in, going to park the pickup and trailer, running back, hopping in the boat, goes to start the boat, doesn't start.
Fucking dead
and we're all
battery.
just sitting there, waiting, ready to go.
I don't drive the boat. Now, I can drive everything with wheels and some shit without, but I cannot drive a boat. I mean, I can drive just about any fucking thing you ask me. But I cannot drive a boat. There is something about a boat that just, I can't catch on. I don't know what it is. So, oh man, here we are. The pontoon doesn't start. It's like, all right, I'm already over this day. I'm like, we don't got a jump pack.
Nope, nothing. We're like,
just
put it back on the trailer.
Go get the trailer. Back it back in. Let's just get this thing back on the trailer. Oh. He backs the trailer back in the water. We go to pull the cable out for the winch so we could just winch it back on. The cable's got a knot in it, and it'll only pull out about, not very far, like 2 or 3 foot is all.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh no. Now what?
Then the board on the trailer broke off. So it's just floating in the water. Jeremy's damn near underneath the boat trying to hold this board on while we push it, and you just crank it a little bit at a time.
Yeah, so we grabbed a rope, tied it to the winch, looped it to the hook on the boat, and then I was winching it forward 2 foot at a time. And I'd have to back the winch off, undo the rope, retie. It was just a whole process. So I was just like, I'm good. No more lake days for me.
On top of that, the air conditioner up there is not working. So we fully intended to stay Saturday night. Nope. Did all that packing for zero reason.
Yeah, so it was a day, Saturday.
It was a Barron's day.
It was.
For sure. But it all turned out okay.
It was.
Friday was a good day.
Why is that?
You paid off your shop.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty big deal.
Yep. That shop, I want to tell everybody a story about that shop. So I built that shop in 2015. So my whole life growing up, we never had a shop that you could fit more than one truck in. Bobtail. I mean, it wasn't a shop you could fit a truck and trailer in. It was just, you could just fit one truck, Bobtail, in the shop. All of them, my whole life. And I remember Dad was on the verge of like half-ass retirement, and he had bought a place in Scottsdale, Arizona. So he's down at Scottsdale one winter. And, at this time, all of our trucks are outside. I got them plugged in. It's middle of winter. I get up early one morning, like 3:30, 4 a.m., go get everybody started so they can go haul fats at 5. And I go out there, and we had tripped a breaker in the middle of the night. And there was not one single truck that would start.
Ooh.
And I remember my dad called me that morning. He's all chirpy. My dad was always chirpy. Yeah, he was just...
Oh, my God.
He was always in a good mood.
It would drive you nuts.
It would fucking drive you nuts. He called and he go, well, how's everything going today? And I'm like, not worth a fuck. I said, I'll tell you one goddamn thing. This is going to be the last winter I go without a shop. Like, I'm not doing this no more. Like, my whole life, we have not had a shop. This be last fucking winter for it. So it was. We built a shop that what at the time we thought was way bigger than what we would have ever needed. I mean, it's still big enough for us, but
you can never have enough shop space.
Yeah, you can never have enough shop
space. I've never heard anybody say, oh my God, I wish I had less shop.
After we built that, my dad always said, he goes, that's the biggest payment we got, but that's the easiest one to make. It was like, oh, really? Why is that? Were you the one always out there at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get trucks started or what? And I mean, before me, I'm sure he was the one out there, but not for the last fucking 20 years he wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, so we built this big, massive shop back in 2015, and I don't know, I suppose it was about a year ago, I just had in my mind, I'm like, I'm sick of that payment. That payment's got to go. So I just started knocking it out, and Friday we paid the last $660.44 on it. So that thing is done and gone. And, pretty much our banker came up. We bank about 100 miles from here. They came up, took us out for lunch. I was like, congratulations.
Hey, did you know your shop's paid off Friday? And so I was like, yeah, I knew that. That was intentional. That didn't happen by accident.
Yep.
We have a good bank, though. They're pretty good to us. While we're kind of on the money topic, the other night, somebody said, if you can't afford to buy a new truck, you can't afford to buy a used one. I thought that was a really good way to put that.
I mean, there's a couple ways to look at that, I guess. I feel like there's a lot of truth to that. But, I mean, that is especially true if you don't know how to wrench on them.
If you got to pay somebody
to fix everything,
yeah,
you definitely can't afford an old truck. I mean, if you're pretty handy and know how to fix a lot of that stuff, knock yourself out. But yeah, that was a good quote.
Real quick before we keep going, I want to tell you all about one of our sponsors. Managing livestock and commodities hauls just got easier. Roll On Dispatch is a streamlined trucking software platform built to help you save time and reduce paperwork. From quickly finding the right driver and dispatching loads to automating invoicing, everything happens in one easy-to-use app. A connected driver app is available for iOS and Android to keep communication between the office and the road seamless. And with QuickBooks integration, managing your fleet and finances is more efficient than ever. Whether you're growing your business or lightening your workload, Roll-On Dispatch helps you focus on what matters most. Visit rollondispatch.com today and experience the future of dispatching. Now let's get back into it. Whoa, I want to talk about these baby calves.
Oh.
I mean, my God. This calf market is insane. I don't know that we've really necessarily talked about baby calves on the podcast. If you follow us on socials, you have seen that's like my little side project is Smoke feeds out these cows and they're supposed to be open, but they're dropping calves like pretty regularly. So we finally got to the point Smoke started letting me keep the calves and bottle feed them instead of, a lot of times I think you would just, everything's at a custom lot. So I think you would just tell the feedlot, keep it, get rid of it, whatever, take it off the feed bill, right?
Yep, all the time. I was like, if you want to keep it and it's alive by the time you send the feed bill, you know, take $200 or $300 off the feed bill, we'll call it good. Well, then I was like, okay, I'm going to go start picking them up. So I started picking them up. We'd bring them back, keep them alive for, 2 or 3 weeks. Then we'd either just had to put them out on Snapchat or Facebook or something. So it was almost always somebody we knew was coming to pick them up.
Yep.
So they'd come pick them up, and I'd be like, listen, it was already 2 or 3 weeks old. I was like, take it. If it's alive in another couple weeks, give me $500 for it. And we did that with quite a few of them.
When the market around here was like $700-800.
Yep.
I think the market around here, like Dunlap Dennison, is still in that ballpark.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Maybe 900 is the high. I'm not sure.
Anyway, we know this guy from Eastern Iowa, and he's telling us about a baby calf market over there. So I had a couple calves, and I was like, all right, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to test it out. So we put sides on my pickup. We built these sides so I could make my pickup.
Let's back up a little bit. Smoke has this handyman who will do literally anything he asks. And I don't think is amused by Smoke in the slightest at all. And Smoke thinks he's pretty funny, and he's just here to collect a paycheck. Anyway, the guy can build anything.
Yeah, literally. I mean, he's like, well, whatever, man. That's what you want.
That's what you want. That's what he'll do.
He does. He builds me this box on a Monday, and so I haul these baby calves over, and they just bring outrageous money. So next week, haul a couple more over. And then this last week...
Well, we're in the livestock hauling business, so...
Right.
We might as well take a full load.
So then I'm telling a couple buddies about it, and they're like, well, fuck. I got a couple you can take with you. So anyway, this last trip, we ended up with 10 in the bed of my pickup. All of them over there. But the market was not
as hot this last week.
They said 2 out of the 3 calf buyers did not show up.
So somebody got a deal.
Yeah.
So it's about time. They've been paying out the ass for them.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, it was the day we took 10 and not 2.
Well, yeah. But that one brought $1,410.
Yeah, that one baby calf brought $1,410
for a baby calf that is a few days old.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, they were never more than a week old because we were going every Tuesday.
It is just insane. But, I mean, you lost a cow worth about $2,500, but you took 2 baby calves to the sale barn and made $2,500. So that worked out.
Yeah, so the calf market's hot. Calf market's very hot. You know what? All markets are hot.
I'm going to have a hard time going back to doing the bottle feeding for $200 a head after I've been getting paid $1,200 a head.
Yeah.
And honestly, we've been so busy since we've been going every week. We haven't even pulled them off the mom. We've just left them. That's actually been the easiest money we've made with baby calves.
But all markets are hot. Last week's cash bid. Oh, geez. I gotta look. I think we were 367 in the meat, 233 live picked up.
Let's talk about our basis last week.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. We sold some fats, got out of our June hedges. Yeah, we ended up with an $18 basis. I mean, it's wild. So, yeah, the basis is crazy.
I mean, try to predict this. I don't think anybody did.
Yep.
Another thing that's picking up now is feeder cattle out of California are headed back to the Midwest.
Yep. We've been hauling some California calves for a couple of weeks now. I mean, there was a big push the last couple of weeks. None of our stuff. I mean, we were running out there, but we were helping other trucking companies out west. There was just a lot of cattle that moved in a very short period. I mean, it lasted about 3 weeks, and now it's all over again.
Yep. Spring is always slow, beginning of the year. And April usually picks up, but it's been slower this year overall than previous years. But I remember we went from 1 week, not a damn thing going on. You were just a bear complaining about how slow it was. The next week, your hair's on fire. I'm like, what's going on? It's so fucking busy. Well, that really changed quick.
Remember that 1 week? I think we had 40-some sale barn loads out of Kansas and Oklahoma that week.
Yeah, it was insane. And it was sale barn shit, too. It wasn't, it was completely unexpected.
Fucking sale barn stuff.
Came out of nowhere.
And then you know what? We did 40 sale barn loads that week.
Next week,
none. It's like, okay, well.
I mean, if that doesn't tell you how unpredictable it is.
That was, for a week.
That's like people ask.
False hope.
People ask like, oh, are you available this date? And it's like 2 or 3 weeks from now. And I'm like, as of right now, yes. Will all hell break loose that week, even if I have it on your calendar and everywhere else? Absolutely it will. And I will have to cancel on you.
I don't know. I don't know that we're going to have time to go to California ourselves this year, though.
Which is too bad because I really enjoy that.
We always try to go to California to watch our calves get loaded. We always get the same calves up the same ranch every year. And we have for, I don't even know how many years.
15 plus years.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to go this year because I think this is going to be the last year for it.
Yeah, it is.
Unfortunately, they are getting kicked off. The state of California, around the Petaluma, California, Point Reyes, California area, all that ground is leased from the state. They had to sell that ground to them like 60-some years ago with the agreement that they could keep ranching.
Mm-hmm.
And like everything, all agreements come to an end. And they have been leasing that ground from the state for 60-some years.
I think when we were out there last year, they said they went from 20-year leases to just the past couple of years going year-to-year lease.
Oh, well, yeah, it started as 20-year leases, and then they went to 5-year lease, and then it was just a year-to-year lease. So that is how they knew the end was near anyway, is when they started going to year-to-year leases on the land, and they're done. I mean, they're just kicking them out. Apparently, cattle, livestock, agriculture is just so horrible that state of California don't even want them. It's like, do you people actually not know ranchers? Like, they are the best people in the world.
The 3 environmental groups that really pushed this claimed that ranching harmed the seashore's environment, and cattle have been there for how many years?
Actually, I was thinking maybe we weren't going to make it, but almost better now. But I have for a lot of years. I go to the Western Video in Reno, which is typically around like the second week in July somewhere.
This year it's the 14th through the 16th.
And I have just met so many good people out there. I mean, from buyers and sellers, ranchers, video reps. When we really started hauling a lot of cattle out of the West, California, Oregon, Idaho, Washington. I had it in my mind. I was like, I talked to all these people on the phone, but I never get to see them. So I had just decided I would start going to the video sale at Reno because it was just a nice central place to go see everybody at once because they are all there. So that works out really well. And then I stay at the video sale for about 2 days in Reno. And then I head to California, to the Petaluma, California area and load out cattle for a couple, 2, 3, 4 days before I come home. And it's just kind of been a thing I've done for the last couple years. But it's just like you keep getting busier and busier and busier. You don't even realize it. And you're like, I just don't even know that I'm going to make it. But it's just one of those things. You just got to make time for some of that stuff, I guess. But I love them video sales. I mean, just going to see everybody. And Western Video, they are very accommodating, when it comes to that stuff. And they don't have to be. I mean, I'm just a measly truck driver, But they all know you. They all come up and shake your hand.
Well, and it's not just Western Video. I think it's the industry as a whole is like that.
Yeah.
That's one of those rooms where you are not the smartest person in the room. And we find ourselves in that situation quite often.
Very often.
You just sit back and you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah. I don't remember what we were doing the other day. I don't remember who we met with. And we get in the car and we're driving down the road and I just kind of start giggling to myself. She's like, what are you laughing about? And I was like, I just don't even know what happened. Like, we know so many smart people. We are definitely the dumbest one in the room. We're the people who are like, yep, okay, nope, that sounds good. Just get me out of here before I make myself look dumb. So.
Right. But I mean, you sit back and you listen, you learn a lot.
Yeah, we are very fortunate to know a lot of the people that we know.
Well,
I mean, we know a lot of smart people.
Someone referred to us as a value-added investor recently. Trucking is a valuable industry. It supports every industry out there. I mean, I know you see yourself as just a truck driver most days, but you've put yourself in a lot of rooms with people who actually recognize and value the knowledge that you have from being into this industry your entire life.
Oh, man. Is that about all business stuff we really got?
Yeah, I think that's it for business updates.
I want to talk about our kids for a little bit. Okay, so our boys are 4 and 2.
This will be another hour of the podcast.
And they are a fucking blast. I mean, they are at the ages, as everybody that has kids know, that
I don't know if it gets any better than this.
They're at the ages, man. It is just the kids say the darndest things. And I don't know. I told her today, I go, I feel like we need to start making notes and just have a whole episode of just shit that you hear kids say.
Okay, so your brother hates the phrase sure, and Ridge comes out of the house, and I don't know, Jeremy asked him to do something, and he said, you bet I will.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And Tara's like, I just found my new response. You okay? Can you scrub the floors? You bet I will.
You bet I will.
Don't have to say sure anymore. It just makes you want, like, he heard that somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. He is our very outgoing one, and I think I can only assume anyway that comes from him being with me. He was pretty young when I would say he had to be right around 2, 1.5, 2.
Yeah. Well,
when I started taking him with me frequently, like not even in the truck, but just even to, like, hey buddy, I gotta run to town quick. You want to go with Dad? Yep. I mean, he was just kind of my right hand man. He was.
Yeah. Well, he was a year and a half when we had Royce, and I think that's really when you started taking him because it was just easier.
Yep.
For me
if I
to deal with
one.
the baby. Yep.
Absolutely. So He is very outgoing.
We have this driver, Bob. Bob is the nicest man you'll ever meet in your entire life.
Hands down. And I'd
Ridge
like to fight the person that would argue with that.
Ridge is obsessed with Bob. He when they play with their trucks, Ridge or Royce, one of them is always Bob. It is the funniest thing. But one day, Bob was in the shop and Ridge walks in and shakes his hand. This little 3-year-old old man just.
And I mean, you got to know Bob too. And I think Bob just turned 60.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Poor Bob. I think he might have shed a tear. I mean, his face just lit up. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. We were sitting on the couch and he's like, "Hey, Dad, can we call Bob?" And I was like,
yes.
I mean, we can, I guess. Yeah, if you want to, but it was just today too. I'm in the house. He comes walking in and he goes, "Hey, Smoke." I go, "Hey, Ridge." He goes, "Nope, I'm Bob." I go, "All right. Hey, Bob." I'm like,
I mean, I have to say, if their role model is going to be a truck driver, I am so glad that it was Bob.
Anyway, so this kid is so outgoing. The neighbor, we live out in the country, but we have neighbors that live right across the road from us. And Ridge is out riding his Power Wheels the other day. And the neighbor lady, she's over there getting her mail. So Ridge, he wheels up in his car. And he goes, "Hey." And she's like, "Hey." He goes, "I'm Ridge. This is my brother, Bubba. And this is my dog, Otis." Now, mind you, we've lived here for like 3 years.
Like she's well aware.
She's well aware of who we are. My point is, like, that is just how outgoing that kid is. He's like, "Hi, I'm Ridge."
So he will talk to anybody. And on the flip side, that little one is the complete opposite.
He is scared of everybody. I mean, the kid goes to the same daycare. He's gone to the same daycare his whole life.
Yep.
It's like, buddy, you are with these people more than you're with us. But the fact that you still cry every day when we drop you off kills me.
Yeah. I mean, Ridge went through a phase like that, but Royce is just so much more sensitive. Ridge is sensitive too, but in a different way. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And Ridge's other big thing is when Royce doesn't listen, his newest is, "Bubba, you better listen. Dad's going to whoop ya."
He does. He always says, "Dad's going to whoop ya."
So we bought this new Jeep too. And they hate it, which kills me because they love Ranger rides.
Yeah. Take the top off the Jeep, not a
Take
fan.
the top off the Jeep. Royce is driving down the road screaming, "I don't like this." It's like, what do you mean? What's not to like? You screaming? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It sucks, don't it?
Car rides, though, anymore. Their obsession is, "I Should Have Been a Cowboy"
by Toby Keith.
And they know it word for word.
Yep. And I think that started with their obsession with rodeos.
Mm-hmm. They think they want to be cowboys.
They think they want to be cowboys. Hell, they think they want to be cowboys. So what do? It's like, all right, you're going mutton busting then this year. So Dad goes buys him a sheep for his 4th birthday back in April. I buy him a sheep. Grandma and Grandpa buy him a helmet.
Grandma gets the helmet.
Grandma gets the helmet.
Let's just make sure everybody's safe.
So, take him over, put him on this sheep, and he loses his mind. I mean, kid won't do it. Kid will not get on that sheep. And here his little brother is. We got the sheep cornered, and we got like a folding hog panel. We got the sheep in the corner. Ridge is stuck in there with the sheep. Here's his little brother. He's leaning over the hog panel. Ridge is crying. Royce says, "You ain't no cowboy." And I mean, we were just at the funnest stage in life with them two. I mean, don't shit yourself. they get on your nerves every 30 seconds, but the other 30 seconds, they're making you laugh usually.
One of our best friends, even before we had kids, and they've got kids that are in high school, out of high school now, she would always say, little kids, little problems. And I have never heard anything more true. Like, they drive me nuts, but these problems are minor compared to our friends that have teenagers out there driving around. I'm not looking forward to that day.
Yeah.
I think we should probably wrap up, but I want to tell you what I learned on Snapchat this week.
What have you learned this week? What has Snapchat taught you of all things?
Well, Kyle had a Snapchat this week of a load goat. He was loading sheep. I don't know where. You probably know exactly where.
A lead goat.
This goat leads the sheep onto the trailer, turns around, comes out, he shuts the gate, it goes back and gets the next group.
Okay, do you realize that sheep just follow each other?
I mean, I guess I have always heard that. I've never been around sheep, minus the sheep that you just bought.
Gotcha.
Ridge. I helped shear sheep one time when I was like 13, and I wouldn't have never had a desire to be around them ever again.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then I suppose you probably wouldn't know. So yeah, that goat just leads them on. And it works its way back through, and
So are goats smarter than sheep?
I guess, especially that one that they train, yes.
I'm fascinated by that. I had no idea.
All right, what else?
I just saw on Snapchat tonight a guy loading pigs, and they were all in a little cart. They just wheel it up to the trailer.
Pigs were loaded with hog carts for a lot of years. I mean, that's not a thing no more because that's not biosecure. But, hey, I'll tell you what's going on in Iowa today. Everybody's doing is everybody is baling hay today.
So,
Baling hay, chopping rye.
Yep. Well, it's supposed to rain Tuesday.
Yep. I mean, it's just been a nice couple days for it. Everybody's baling hay. But back to hog carts. Oh, man. Well, hog carts aren't a thing no more because there's not a whole lot of...
I mean, everywhere has a loadout facility.
That too, but, you know, you ran into people with hog carts. So they had outside pigs, and they were a farmer. You know, anymore, almost everything is corporate, and corporate has hog barns. But, man, we loaded hogs with hog carts for years.
Okay, so explain how this works.
Okay.
To me, I don't. How big is this cart exactly?
You can fit like 20 pigs on it.
20 pigs. Okay. And how do they move it?
Tractor.
Like with a tractor? Okay. Like Cam's Snapchat was just a picture. Like I just saw the one side of the cart. I didn't get the full.
Okay. They have this cart. It's hooked up to a tractor. It's got hydraulics on it. So they load the pigs ground level in the farm, and then they drive it to the truck. They raise the hydraulic up, and then they back it up to your trailer. It is very time consuming.
Probably about like when we loaded fats with a gooseneck at that one feedlot.
Oh.
Have we talked about that on here?
No.
I don't think we have either.
We haven't. That's probably going to be for another episode, but this maybe give everybody something to look forward to for another episode, I guess. We used to lease this feedlot. There's a feedlot near Carroll, and they had tore out all the loading facilities. The pens were still there, but they hadn't used the feedlot for years, so they tore out the loading facilities. So I go up there, and we lease this feedlot, and I mean, it was a big lot. I mean, we've had 1,000 head there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was no way to load them. So we loaded everything on a gooseneck.
Yep, your dad ran the gooseneck. I'd sit in the passenger seat, and he'd just back it up to the alleyway. You'd run them on.
He'd pull it out on the road, and we'd back it up to the chute.
Yep.
Run them off. And actually, it went better than it
smoothly.
It went better than it probably should have. But I mean, we were loading a lot of cattle out because, you know, them cows, we only feed them 90 days. So, I mean, we were always loading cattle out. I mean, that is...
You got your steps in there, too, because you had to run them a quarter of a mile.
A long
to the road.
Fucking ways to the road.
That
to
was
load
good
them on
for
the
you.
gooseneck.
And that's why your dad volunteered to do the gooseneck, I think, is because all he had to do was sit in the pickup.
Yeah, well.
I'd watch
So,
the gate.
Yeah, that feedlot's that's a whole nother episode. We've had ourselves into some adventures, but I think about that feedlot often. I wish we could have come to an agreement at the end, but yeah, we've got ourselves into some deals.
That's what builds character.
It is.
All right. Anything else?
I got nothing else. Everybody, just I don't know how much higher this fat cattle market or feeder cattle market can go, but let's just keep watching her go up, and we're going to keep hoping for the best.
Yeah.
And remember us for all your trucking needs. And if you enjoy the podcast, share it with somebody, because that's how we grow. I will say, we're not going to throw out numbers, but this has
far exceeded expectations.
It's wild. So, thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yep. We'll talk next week.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Rural Dispatch. I hope you found something valuable to take back to your own operation. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. You can keep up with me between episodes on socials at Barons & Co. or join our email list on our website to get new episodes delivered straight to your inbox every Wednesday. Until next time, keep those wheels turning. We'll talk soon.